Hi guys, I'm doing the tutorial and the just show of my domb-B universal sewing machine. First, I guess we'll go through the threading. It goes through here, and it should go through here. I bypassed it just because I forgot, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to do anything. Into here, up, and it's going to catch. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Okay, and then hold on, okay, there it goes, that's correct. All right, so this one is actually funny because watch, if you let it go, so the spring is actually over here. This machine has a spring that actually bounces downward as opposed to upward. So normally you'd have your spring going down, going like this, and then you're going to be bouncing upwards. But because of the way it's positioned, you're actually hooking over this foot now. So it actually, when you bounce, it goes down. It's just a little quirk of this machine, but that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, and then you go through here. I'm sorry, take up arm here, and then here through the spiral, and then all the way down. And the machine is threaded from left to right, which also means that your needle flat part is going to be facing the right. Okay, my tension is set at 4. That's what I'm always setting it at. And okay, so the other quirk on this machine is that with all my efforts, I couldn't get to this disc to line up perfectly. So it actually lines up a little bit behind. So this is manual, which basically puts you into a manual zigzag or straight stitch, but you see it doesn't line up exactly. So when you go to the next one, you have to go here, switch, it goes behind the number, not directly on the number. So okay, so now when you're switching, since we're going over this, I'm going to manual, and this is how you activate it. And what it is there's internal cams inside, and those cams are activated with this lever. So this is kind of a release allows you to choose your stitch. Okay, so we're going to manual. This machine only works in zigzag in the manual position. Keep that in mind. So all of these cams are already pre-programmed, so you cannot adjust their width. So we'll go over that. Okay. So, and I am sorry that I'm using something, but this is what I was practicing on already. So you see the stitch, and it is a very heavy-duty machine. It'll go over, very thick fabrics. So you can see it has no problem with that. Now the flaw that I was describing to you, okay, so watch this wheel. Again, it does not affect the machine, but it's very ironic. I spent a lot of time getting this machine back together, and I did not notice this until I finally got everything back together and reassembled, and I touched up the paint the best that I could. Because all of this was just scraped off, but I didn't notice this, and now I notice it. So watch, I'm gonna run it. See that? It doesn't affect the sewing of the machine. It's not actually anything wrong with the wheel. It's the little mechanism inside is slightly bent that harnesses the wheel. It doesn't do anything. It just looks funky. Okay, so this activates your bobbin winder. And then you just deactivate it. When the bobbin is full, it deactivates by itself. Okay, so we'll just go, we already did our straight, we'll just go into zigzag. So we'll go to number 3, and we'll start our zigzag. Okay, you see that zigzag stitch, all right? We'll go to 5, which activates our zigzag wider. And again, you can see how many layers of jean I'm going through. This is pockets of jean, so it's very, very thick. And it's already folded over. And the machine has no problem with this. It's just like, hey, what's up? Okay, so again, this is the only time that you're going to be able to activate your zigzag. Keep that in mind, okay? And this is your needle positioner. So left, medium, and right. So my needle goes all the way to the right, okay? So I was sewing on middle, which, yeah, is fine. Okay, so now we'll go to the decorative stitches. Oh, sorry. So we're going to deactivate our cam, and we'll just go to a ruffle. So remember that it's slightly behind, okay? activate, and off we go. And this just waves. It just, you can kind of see it there. It's very, very mild. And here's the funny part. So, okay, let me see if this one actually holds. Now, see, you can use a zigzag in this one, funny enough. Some of them will allow you to use a zigzag, some of them will not. But all it's doing is just kind of waving up and down. It doesn't really do all that much. We'll do this one. Oh, and of course, we have our buttonholer. So we'll do that in a minute. But anytime you're activating the red stitches, you have to be going in the red area. So that's if we're going to be doing the buttonhole. So, okay, so let's do keep doing our decorative stitches. Oh, sorry, let me deactivate. So, I'll go to the middle where you can see it better. You see, it's not like doing anything very fancy. It's just basically just waving, going up and down, up and down. Let's see this one. So I wouldn't even know what these are used for, to make them wavy like that. Maybe for quilting, but these are kind of cool. Okay, so we're gonna go to these thicker ones. Let's go to that. And let's reduce our stitch because we want to see what we're doing. Okay. What it does. Hold on. Way lower. Okay. Lower. All right. You see that? So it's kind of creating, and the tighter you get it, the more attractive it's going to look. Okay, so let's do this one. I kind of liked. And again, this is good for like quilting, edging things, tablecloths. You see? That's kind of pretty. I'm gonna do right positioner. Let's see actually what that does. I'm curious. It does the same thing. I'm just curious if it'll work. Right positioner. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's do line stitch. Let's do that one. Oh, I dropped my thread. I apologize. Is the loneliest Oops, I'm going this way. There we go. Sorry, let me put this down so I could thread it with both hands. Okay, there we go. What did I do? Oh, I'm in the wrong stitch. I forgot that it's after, not before. Sorry. Now we do. So all that this is doing is, you see, it just bounces to the left. That's this one right here. And let's position the needle now to the other side. There. See that? It looks like a what is that called? Like in the ER, you know, lifeline. It looks like a lifeline. Let's put this needle in the middle. Same thing. Looks like a lifeline. If I activate the zigzag, it just looks like a zigzag. So that doesn't change the stitch, which is why I say you can only use it in the straight position. Okay, what else? Let's activate one of these. Okay, so we've activated now our buttonholer. So in order to do our buttonhole, you just go all the way down to the red, and you start with, let's find an empty spot. Okay, there you go. So going to an empty spot. This is how we move forward. I would do it even tighter, all the way down almost to the 0. So let's start another one, because this is kind of a loose buttonhole. We want a tight buttonhole. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to move to, this stitch, which is our next position. It's in the same spot. Then we're going to move to the other position, and now it's going to take us backwards, parallel to where we first started. And then we're going to go back to this one, which will close our buttonhole. You have to do this, obviously, not holding a phone and watching it. Yeah, see, I missed. But the idea was that I should have started there, and it goes forward, you end it, and then you go backwards, and then you cut it open, and that would create your buttonhole. Let me do one, trying to actually pay attention to it. Okay, so let's start. Okay. Gonna go to the next. Okay. And now we're gonna go backwards. And where did I stop? And then you have to watch where you started. Okay. There you go. So that is my buttonhole, in theory. It'll look neater, you know, if you're doing this more carefully. What else? That's pretty much it, honestly. It has a reverse. Oh, it can't have a reverse, sorry, on the buttonhole. But it has a reverse in regular everyday life. What else? It has a tooth positioner. So if you're going to be darning and doing, you know, freehanding, you want to drop your teeth. If you're going to be just sewing, you want to raise your teeth up. That's pretty much it. It has a light. The cording, everything's in good condition. I didn't have to replace that. The foot pedal is from another machine, because this one has an open back because it was mounted into a table. So if you are planning on mounting this machine into a table, please tell me and I'll give you the pedal that actually mounts into the table. And that way you can use the knee part of it. Here's actually, I think, the original. So you can actually use your knee to sew, which is convenient for some people. And then cosmetically, you see the top's been as touched up as possible. The bottom has scuffs. It's not, you know, it's not perfect. It's a very cool shape, though. It reminds me of an old car. Pardon all the rest of the machines I have laying around here. Oh, that's from my new belt, and I just put a new belt in, so it is going to leave a little bit of debris while it settles in. And the motor's been serviced. It's actually been fully reopened, cleaned, because it was pretty filthy, not in the best shape. What's it called? Oh my gosh, the brushes have been replaced, so it's ready to sew for a really long time. Everything's ready to go on this machine. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.